It's a rivalry that dates back to the late 90s. It's the Baltimore Ravens. It's the Pittsburgh Steelers. It is an AFC North showdown. I still call it a rivalry. What say you? We know Pittsburgh has dominated over the last few matchups with extenuating circumstances, players resting, sitting out, injuries, personnel. It's Ravens 7-3, Steelers 7-2 for first place in the AFC North Sunday at 1 p.m. from Acrisure Field. It's the Flex Zone Podcast. It's God's favorite host right here on the Flex Zone. Your home for all of your Ravens coverage. Only place giving you your sports how you want it when you need it. Ravens, Steelers. I got the preview and predictions. Sack that subscribe button. Give it a Derrick Henry stiff arm. Look down the field and like us. Look up. Like Lamar will tomorrow. Hit that like button. Leave us a thumbs up. It helps us out tremendously. Bulldoze that bell like Derrick Henry. And leave a comment down below. What's your prediction? Your keys? Score? Anything I missed? Hey, if you're even not into football or you stumbled across this video, leave your favorite emoji. It helps us out tremendous in the algorithm with YouTube. Let's get into the preview. Don't want to waste any time. A lot to get to. Ravens last week got the job done. They got the job done on Thursday night against the Bengals. They pulled it out. Got the super terrific mini bye. Got a couple extra days to rest, recover, and that is wonderful to hear. Let's get to the basics. Tomorrow's game was not flexed like I thought it would be, so I was wrong there. 1 p.m. Acrisure Stadium in Pittsburgh. Now, I want to say one thing. The Steelers fans are pretty respectful. They may talk a little trash because they got the Super Bowls and they got the longevity, but they are respectful. They're not ratchet and just unmannered, unhinged, just detached like a lot of Philly fans or Yankee fans, if you want to even throw that in there, Red Sox fans, Boston Celtics fans. Just saying. They're a pretty respectful bunch, and they know what they have. A very, very good franchise up there in Pittsburgh. I can't even talk trash about them. They're a good franchise. So be on WJZ Channel 13, WSA in Washington, and wherever you get your Ravens football. Iron Eagle on the play-by-play and Charles Davis. Love that duo. And Maryland's own Evan Washburn. So does work with the Ravens. You love that threesome there. It will be on WBAL, 98 Rock, Sirius XM with Jerry Sandusky, Rod Woodson as well. The Steelers lead the all-time series 35-25. This includes the postseason. Pittsburgh has won 7 of the last 8 games, all by 7 points or less. So this is going to be a close one. The Ravens' last victory came in 2022 in Pittsburgh when Lamar Jackson was hurt in this game. Baltimore squeezed out a 16-14 victory with Tyler Huntley. Do you guys remember Tyler Huntley? I know a lot of people remember Tyler Huntley, no longer a Raven. Tyler Huntley.
Who? Go Google it. Go Google it.
And this was the game where Anthony Brown came in the third stringer after Huntley. The AFC North has become a 2-team race for Ravens and Steelers. This will carry enormous weight. This is Pittsburgh's first divisional game in Week 11. Crazy to think about. And the Steelers do have a brutal schedule remaining. We'll face the Ravens again in Week 16. And both teams want to take an upper hand heading into the final 7 weeks of the season. We know about Lamar Jackson against the Steelers. Against everybody else, he's 64-19, but against the Steelers, 1-3. Sacks and turnovers have plagued Jackson against Pittsburgh, but playing the best football of his career, Lamar is looking for his first victory since his one victory he has, which was in 2019 in Pittsburgh, and he has an opportunity to end that drought and silence more doubters and naysayers. Can't forget about Patrick Queen. Patrick Queen, who was a former Raven, joined the Steelers in the offseason. It's going to be emotional for him. Queen felt like the Ravens didn't want him. They didn't make him an offer. Obviously, after extending Roquan and drafting Trenton Simpson, the writing was on the wall. Didn't pick up his 5th-year option as well. So Lamar Jackson and Patrick Queen squaring off. They squared off in practice. They will be actually going against it head-to-head in a real game. Patrick Queen has a lot of speed, a good blitzer up the middle. Lamar Jackson, one of the fastest quarterbacks ever, fastest players in the league. Derrick Henry down back there. So there'll be a lot of trash talking, and we'll see if Patrick Queen is really ready to ascend to be a Batman instead of a Robin. The rivalry had a lot of competitive games, has had a lot of competitive games, but losing 7 of the last 8 Baltimore probably should have won last year in Pittsburgh. But remember, it was a block punt and drops. So many drops, at least 5. And George Pickens, T.J. Watt, just to name a few over the last few years. Remember the Big Ben, Haloti Ngata, Terrell Suggs years. The Ravens have indeed struggled as of late since battling Pittsburgh. Now, with that being said, Lamar has 10 turnovers and 20 sacks against the Steelers, which is not good. And the Steelers have won 7 out of the last 10 total, 7 out of the last 8. So, wow, you look at that one. Pittsburgh is dominating. A rivalry, you obviously want to see both teams be competitive and win, but it's been a rivalry still, but a dominating rivalry on the Steelers side. I'm not even going to make excuses about people not playing and the situation last year with the block. Pittsburgh has executed, and the Ravens have not in a lot of these games, whether it's the starters or the backups in. Mike Tomlin has had success against Harbaugh as of late. Let's look at the numbers from a betting perspective and get to the report as well. Ravens and Steelers, this is a 3-point spread. It has went up. It was at 2.5. So it has went up, it looks like, over the last maybe day or so. I guess with players that are going to play as I get into the injury report. But people seem to love the Ravens. 3-point favorites, over under 48.5. And Lamar Jackson on a precipice of almost 3,000 yards, 2,669, 24 touchdowns, only 2 interceptions. Justin Fields is the leader because Russell Wilson's only making his 4th start, but Russell Wilson 3-0. Derrick Henry, 1,120 yards now, second behind Saquon Barkley. 12 touchdowns, has had a touchdown in every game this season, a Ravens record. Najee Harris, 157 carries, 645 yards, 3 touchdowns. Zay Flowers on his way to over 1,000, 50 receptions, 688 yards. And George Pickens as well. Since Russell Wilson has come in, he's averaged 92 yards a reception, 40 receptions, 639 yards, and 2 touchdowns. And we're going to hear a lot of George Pickens tomorrow, I'm sure. Looking at defensively, looks like Kyle Hamilton will be playing tomorrow. Great news. Kyle Hamilton is ready to play. That's what I wanted to hear. So great to see Kyle Hamilton out there. Travis Jones is on track to play. Arthur Millette is out. He was in a walking boot, I believe, on crutches, so he'll be out for a while. Michael Pierce still on IR. TJ Tampa, Deontay Hardy as well. For the Steelers, no Alex Highsmith. He's out, ankle injury, so he'll probably be out at least the next 2 to 3 weeks. Corey Trice, Jalen Warren is questionable. He just came back. And Michael Pruitt, the tight end, is doubtful. CJ Henderson is out. I think Dante Jackson, the corner, is on track to play as it looks as well. Weather-wise, it will be 55 degrees and clear, partly cloudy. So wonderful weather for mid-November as we are literally a little over a week away from Thanksgiving. I give thanks for all of you watching this video. Thank you again. And as you see, Ravens is still 7-2 and 7-3. Let's get to keys. I don't got to waste too much of your time. And boy, do I miss baseball. I have my old shirt on, so we'll see what they do in the offseason. Look for old videos coming soon. First key on offense, no turnovers. Don't beat yourselves. Don't give this team hope. Don't give them the momentum. Don't give this home crowd the life they want. It's going to be a raucous crowd. I'm sure Ravens flock is going to be out there, but Steelers are tough. And that's a tough place to play. That's not the prettiest field either. Secondly, keep TJ Watt contained. No matter what you do, no matter where you're at on the field, I need you to find number 90 and double him, chip him, double him. Make him tackle Derrick Henry, run the ball at him, make him chase around Lamar Jackson for 4 quarters. This is probably a game where Lamar Jackson is going to have to run more and use his legs. Use that to tire out TJ Watt. And I know they got they're expecting, I know it's no Highsmith, but they are expecting Preston Smith to have more of a role this week. They traded for him. I think that was a very underrated move, even though he's in the twilight of his career. And then they also have they have Cameron Hayward, who's still doing a wonderful job. Can't forget him at 35 years of age, still playing some of his best football. He's healthy. Nick Herbig, the kid from, where'd he go? Did he go to Wisconsin? Yep, 4th round pick in 2023. He is a good pass rusher, so he will be back. So no shortage of guys to chase around Lamar Jackson. Keanu Benton is a name that we've been hearing a lot this week on the D-line who could give us some problems at the nose tackle. Larry Ogunjobi is still good against the run, good in the middle. So they got some good players. Of course, Patrick Queen. Deshaun Elliott is their leading tackler, former Raven, so he's good around the box. So it's not going to be easy. So, but definitely got to stop TJ Watt, if anything else. Thirdly, no drops. We just talked about last year how they had the drops. No drops. You've been doing a good job. Bateman ate really well last game because they just left him one-on-one. He can really run good routes, and he can beat your second or third corner. And maybe let's see what Deontay Johnson can do this week. We know he's going against his former team. I'm not expecting much because you got to work him in. You got to work Keaton Mitchell in. Oh, yeah, you still got to give Derrick Henry his carries. Oh, yeah, you still got to give Justice Hill his touches. Zay Flowers, Mark Andrews, Isaiah Likely. He was out last week. He will be back this week. So another weapon for Lamar to play with, a good problem to have. Fourthly, use your screen game to slow down the pass rush. We know Pittsburgh is going to bring pressure and play pressure man. Zay Flowers, Justice Hill, Keaton Mitchell. Use the screen passes. Use Likely. He's very good after the catch. Use those screens. We've been one of the best screen teams in the NFL. I never thought I'd be saying that as a Ravens fan. I've been saying it the past few weeks. Use the screen game. Didn't do it a lot last week, but getting rid of the ball quickly and not having Lamar hold on to it will be wonderful. Lastly, Derrick Henry got to have at least 15 to 20 touches. And I'm talking about carries and even receptions because I need at least 15 to 20 carries and at least maybe another reception or two because you have to run the football. You can't neglect him. Only 11 last week. I know playing from behind. I know having to throw more, but you need to feed Derrick Henry.
One big son of a bitch! No bread, no water, just me. Finger licking good special. That's what I'm talking about.
You need to feed Derrick Henry. Feed Derrick Henry. And against Pittsburgh, Derrick Henry only has 60.6 yards per carry in 3 games. So they've done a good job. This was all while he's with the Titans as well. But the Ravens are 5-0 when he's over 100 yards. We know Rosengarten, he's going to be matched up with TJ Watt, who's had 1 sack in 10 straight games against the Ravens as well. And now they mad at BK, which we'll get into in the defense, had 3 sacks last week. But defensively, let's switch over there. Get interior pressure on Russell Wilson. He's a smaller quarterback, only 5'10". You got to get your hands up. You got to get that interior pressure because he likes to hold on to the ball and make plays. So Madubuike with 3 sacks. Travis Jones, I think that's going to be very, very important. I think Travis Jones and Madubuike are going to be the difference in this game. They're able to get interior pressure because the center, I think the right guard and left guard are all rookies, young players for the Steelers. They can get pressure. Jones another week healthy. Madubuike 3 sacks last week. Probably should have had 4, maybe even 5 with the penalties and some holding calls. He could start to heat up in the second half of the season. He's not going to get 13 like he had last year, but could he finish with close to 10, 8 or more? I would love that. He's got 3 last week. Could he get another 1 this week? Him and Travis Jones are going to be big on the interior. Man on the moon. Look out for the moon ball. They threw 12 last week. So they're going to throw at least 2 a quarter, 8 to 10 in the game. Tre'Davious White will play more. I think he's good in short spaces, can get his hands on guys. I'm putting Marlon on George Pickens, and I'm putting Nate Wiggins on Mike Williams, who they traded for. I'm putting in some Tre'Davious White as well. And these guys aren't burners, but they run a lot of go routes, 9 routes, vertical routes, and slant routes. So you got to get your hands on. You got to be physical, but you have to find the football, knock it down. Don't let them complete these moon balls because the 2 they completed last week against the Commanders were the difference in the game. 2 touchdowns. Thirdly, tackle Najee Harris. I know he's a little banged up. Tackle him well. He runs hard like Derrick Henry, like a mini Derrick Henry a little bit. Contain Warren. Contain him because he's very shifty, very nifty. And if no Najee Harris or if he's banged up and he doesn't get as many touches, Cordero Patterson, the old man, still can get it done, has some explosivity in his legs a little bit. Watch out for him as well. Contain Warren in the backfield with catches and receptions and tackle Najee. Next, limit Pat in the middle. Fry Muth, or Heath Miller, the great tight ends that the Steelers have had. You got to contain the middle of the field. The Ravens have struggled with that. We've seen last week Roquan, Trent Simpson, Kyle Hamilton is going to play, so hopefully he can help with that. Watch out for the waggles and bootlegs, which they may do on early downs to help out and try to throw against this Ravens secondary. Mike Tomlin knows how bad the secondary has been. Arthur Smith loves play action. Look what he did with Ryan Tannehill. Derrick Henry can tell you all about that. And lastly, get off the field on third down. We got to get off the field on third down. Marcus Williams, like I said, Kyle Hamilton's playing. Roquan, we're going to need Roquan second in the league in tackles. We're going to need to get off the field on third down. Let's get them in third and long. Let's get off the field on third down. Matabike, Travis Jones, they can clog up the middle, then make them collapse the middle, which can lead to Van Noy. Hello, where you been at? Owe, no way, go away. We need you. Ajabo, I'm sure we're going to see him this game. Yannick Ngakwe is gone. He ain't coming back. So we're going to need somebody to on the outside to benefit from the inside pressure. Let's get to special teams because last week we saw the Steelers do a fake punt. We know the block punt last year. Justin Tucker missed some kicks. Justin Tucker's missed extra point last week. You got to make your kicks and your PATs. This could be a game. Chris Boswell, one of the best kickers in the NFL. This could be a game that comes down to a kick or two. You got to make your kicks. The Ravens can't afford to leave points on the board. Thirdly, stay disciplined. I talked about the block. I talked about the block punt last year. I talked about the fake punt last week against the Commanders. You got to be disciplined and ready on special teams. I would love to see more Keith Mitchell. Maybe he can get another 30, 40-yard return. Let's see what they do. I'm excited to see special teams, how they can try to bounce back. Harbaugh's special teams guy. I want to see your imprint on this game in special teams because it could come down to a Jordan Stout punt flipping the field, a made field goal from 50+ because you don't want to go for a fourth down. You may have to go for more fourth downs if you don't have confidence in Tucker. And it's like I said, it could be a game where Lamar has to run more. If it's 4th and 5 or less, they probably go for it. Like I said, the conditions on this field aren't the best, in my opinion. They are mid a lot of times. Heinz Field, as I like to call it, what it used to be called. This is going to be very imperative for the Ravens special teams to show up. Like I said, a big return to help them out, making a field, making your extra points. So we'll see. And like I said, Boswell's a walking weapon. He can give you 3 points. So you're going to have to score touchdowns in the red zone as well against his defense. But you got to grind it out. Don't be stupid. Take the points if it's there as well. You don't want to be greedy. You got to have some, especially early in the game. If you can get points, take them. Don't press for something that's not there and then put yourself in a position where your defense is already working one hand behind their back. They had meetings apparently. Let's see them fix the communication issues. So offensive, no turnovers, keep TJ Watt contained, no drops, use screen game to slow down pass rush, and Derrick Henry 15 to 20 touches. Defensively, get interior pressure on Russell Wilson. Watch those for those moon balls, man on the moon. Tackle Najee, contain Warren, and keep Cordero in check. Limit Pat Fry, move in the middle of the field, and get off the field on third down. Special teams, stay disciplined, and make your kicks and PATs. With the stay disciplined, watch out for the fakes as well. So the over-under is 48.5. I was struggling with a lower scoring game, maybe like a 27-24, which would be under. Oh, no, that would be over. That'll be over. So that could be the over. But I think this could be a 31-27 game, a little more high scoring than we're used to. And I think we get the Baltimore Ravens defeating the Pittsburgh Steelers, finally winning in Pittsburgh. I think they could, if they could win tomorrow, I think they could potentially sweep this series. I know it's tough, it's hard to do, but these teams usually split, so I would not be shocked if Pittsburgh wins. I don't think it's going to be more than a 3 to 7 point margin. It's going to be a close game. The last few we mentioned are 7 points or less. This will be another case of that as well. So looking at the Steelers' schedule, again, I'm going with the Ravens. I thought this was a situation where they could get hot and be in. If the Ravens get the 8-3 going on the road next week on Monday night, that'd be great. So they have the Ravens do the Steelers. They have at the Browns on a short week on Thursday. I think they're going to win that, though, still. At the Bengals, that could be tough. I think they may lose that. The Browns, again, they'll probably sweep the Browns when the Ravens lost to the Browns, of course. At the Eagles, I see a loss. At the Ravens, that could be a loss. The Chiefs could be a loss. And then the Bengals one more time. So they do have a very tough 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, final 8 games. Obviously, all of their division games. They're kicking off the Ravens tomorrow, their first divisional game. But I'll be surprised if they, only win out of their last 8. 1, 2, 3, maybe go 3-5, 4-4. I can see them maybe finishing down the stretch 3-5 in their last 8. Now, that would still get them to 10 wins. So, are they able to still be a wild card in the playoffs? I think so. I call the Steelers all the time the cockroaches because they don't die. No matter what you do, they got the head coach, no matter who's the quarterback, no matter who's the receivers, no matter who's running the football, no matter who's back there on defense, who's calling the plays, who they have, what personnel, they find a way to win and get above 500. Ravens have the Steelers, at the Chargers, the Eagles. The next three are going to be tough for the Ravens. I'll take 2-1 because I think that Eagles game is going to be very tough. Then you go to the Giants, you get the Steelers again, at the Texans. That's going to be tough, and then the Browns. I think they can get the Browns back. I think the Texans game could be a loss. I think one of the Steelers games could be a loss. I think the Eagles game could be a loss. So that's at least 3 more for the Ravens. That's 6 losses. So I think I had them at 10-7 before the season. But I think they can still win the division. So neither team has a cakewalk down the stretch. So these 2 games are going to go a long way, and it starts tomorrow, hopefully with the Ravens getting a 31-27 victory over the Pittsburgh Steelers. But guys, I appreciate you watching this video. I'm thankful for you as we get into the season of thanks. Thankful for the Ravens. Thankful for the Flex Zone family. And thankful for all the content on the channel that you guys have been loving. Last night, we were live for the Jake Paul, Mike Tyson fight and the wonderful undercard with the women, Taylor and Serrano, Barrios, Suarez. They had some wonderful fights last night on that card. So thank you, everybody, for watching. Wonderful, wonderful turnout on a Friday night and watching SmackDown along with us as well, which we've been doing on Friday. We had the Washington Commanders show live, the post-game show Thursday night after the Commanders fell to the Eagles. We will be back this week with another live preview. We have the preview also on the channel, which you can check out, which we did on Tuesday. We'll be live, as always, each and every week, myself, Big Raj, and a host of others this coming Sunday, immediately after the Ravens and Steelers, with the Baltimore Ravens post-game show, recapping the game, talking about the highs, the lows, the good, the bad, and where we think the Ravens are headed next. As they will be playing on Monday Night Football, the Harbaugh, against the Los Angeles Chargers. God's favorite host, make sure you sack and stiff on that subscribe button. Bulldoze that bell to know when all of our videos and content drops. Hit that thumbs up. If you do nothing else for this video, leave a like. It costs you nothing in the world where everything is so expensive. And it helps us out tremendously. Leave a comment, give us your prediction, your keys, injury report, and things to look out forward to. Week 11. What are you looking forward to? We got the Bills and the Chiefs. I think the Bills win, but I would not be surprised if the Chiefs win. So we got the Bengals in charge. I think the Bengals may steal that one. So we'll see. We'll see. Fun weekend of NFL football and a fun time as always with you on the Flex Zone Podcast. Leave a comment. Leave your favorite emoji. Hit the like button. Hit the subscribe button if you're new. Welcome all the new subscribers. Thank you for joining us on the Flex Zone Podcast. Only place giving you your Ravens coverage, NFL coverage, and sports coverage. How you want it when you need it. God's favorite host signing off. We'll see you tomorrow for the Baltimore Ravens postgame show. I'm going with the Ravens to get a 31-27 victory and Lamar Jackson to continue silencing more doubters, more critics, more haters on his way to MVP3, his 3rd MVP award. I'll see you guys for the Ravens postgame show tomorrow here on the Flex Zone Podcast. Thank you guys for watching. Ravens flock. Let's do it. Be safe if you go into the game in Pittsburgh, and we'll see you for the postgame.